It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise and what we hope will be a marvelous Monday for you and the start of this new week. I'm ArtSea Palacios.
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday to you. I'm Philip Simon.
And of course, it's our pleasure to be with you this Monday. We hope that you had and enjoyed a great weekend, Phil. And certainly I hope that you enjoyed your holiday, Phil, and that you're looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be an exciting show today.
I'm always looking forward to Bahamas at Sunrise. The weekend, despite the holiday, seemed to go by pretty quickly. It's the 7th of June, 2021, and time is waiting on no man.
You know, I looked at that this morning as I downloaded our script for the morning and I went to our Zoom session link and I'm like, June 7th, how is this June 7th already? I still remember very clearly June 7th of last year and getting ready to go and have a baby. And so like, it blows my mind that the time flies as quickly as it does, Phil.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a year. Your baby is definitely a water baby. I just literally saw a post that you put you guys on a boat. He's looking so grown already, Star. Congratulations to you and Carlos, man.
Yeah, it is crazy the way the time flies. But yeah, we got the opportunity to enjoy some of our beautiful Bahamian waters over the holiday weekend. And I just continue to marvel at the grace of God and the beauty that he put into this country. And I never want us to take that for granted. What I do hope that we can do is to continue to make our island life more accessible to more Bahamians. Certainly, we know that the government has been running this fly free promotion, which is helpful. But for those who we need to see it, like we need to know what it is that we're protecting, why so many people are passionate about protecting it. You know, the Exuma keys alone, Philip, there's a key with just iguanas, right? There's a key with the pigs, which was the original key that, you know, inspired so many of the other islands to get into that. But there was, you know, there's a key with just sharks. And so just the beauty of our islands alone, right? The coves and the caves and the water. And it is a majestic wonderland, this Bahamas that we have. And so I hope that more of us get to enjoy it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, listen, there's a key for every day of the year down there in the Exumas, and they're absolutely all beautiful. And it's not just the Exumas, you know, it's the abacos, you know, it's the berries. I mean, it's the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and you're right. You know, those of us who have the opportunity to go, great, but so many others just don't have the wherewithal, actually, or the means to be able to kind of just hop. You know, island hop, get on a boat, get on a plane, and really see this country, like you said, that God has blessed us. It's absolutely a blessing. It's the most beautiful place on earth. I say that with complete bias, but it's true. And, you know, so we just thank God today. You know, stop. I went to bed yesterday and I woke up this morning in pain.
Yeah.
You know, I got this back thing that's happening right now on the show, and I have no idea where it came from, except to say that maybe it's these 40s.
Yeah, Phil, I think maybe we should go and see one of our resident chiropractors that come on the show frequently, just so that they can do an examination. But I know how you feel. I'm about 10 years behind you, but my right knee has been paining me since Thursday. And I just had to tell my friend that I play tennis with not today because the knee is just hurting too badly, right? Maybe the weather is changing. So we'll find out from Godfrey whether or not that's causing our aches and pains. But we've got a great show lined up for you today. The first ever Cat Island Business Outlook is happening, Phil. And so we're really excited about that. We're going to be talking to two of the speakers from the event this morning. So we want to encourage everybody to stay tuned. And we're also going to be talking with Doctors Hospital about Wound Awareness Week. And so that should be exciting as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cat Island is another one of those beautiful islands down there. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to go, Star, but listen, I have great childhood memories with Cat Island. We also have the ArtSea dance program. She's back once again, and they'll give us all the details about that, what's happening this summer. And we'll also talk about the importance Men's Health Month.
Yep, Phil, the see perfect segue. So I'm sure you're not the only one back feeds this morning. Looking forward to that conversation about Men's Health Month. Before we get to any of it, as you can see, we're really happy to be here with you. We want to take a first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather sunrise, high pressure continues to be the dominant feature, generating some breezy conditions across the islands. Today, partly sunny, breezy, very warm. Little chance of a couple of showers, maybe a nice little thunderstorm popping up mainly during the afternoon hours. High temperature 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, you can expect a few clouds, still a bit breezy on the warm side. 1 or 2 passing showers by early morning. Your low going down to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 83 and 78. In Jamaica, 85 and 72. In Trinidad, 85 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 88 and 74. Across America, Atlanta, 79 and 69. In Raleigh, 87 and 67. In Miami, 86 and 76. Dallas, Texas, 76 and 70. And Toronto, Canada, 78 and 64. As we go the week, high pressure continues to dominate the weather through the week for the most part. But by towards the end of the week, mid-to-upper level trough will increase our rain chances come Thursday into Friday. For the most part, we're looking at partly sunny, very warm, breezy, chance a couple of showers by afternoon, even a thunderstorm popping up. Temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime lower 70s. But variable cloudiness by Thursday into Friday with a couple of showers. That puts her up. When you first look at weather sunrise, I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thanks for that weather update, Godfrey. Well, I'm excited about this next segment. We've had them on the show for several years now. So excited to be a part of this vision that is continuing to grow year after year. We're talking about ArtSea, which strives to be a bridge that connects young artists within the Caribbean to the vast worlds abroad. And here to talk to us more specifically about this year's program, so happy to have Courtney Spears. She's a co-founder and director of ArtSea Dance, and Asa Cary, who's the co-founder and executive producer of ArtSea Dance. Good morning, Courtney and Asa, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having us back.
Always the pleasure. Hey, Asa, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Always happy to be here. How are you?
I'm really good. It looks like the sun is shining brightly wherever you are this morning.
It's sunrise.
Indeed. All right, so let's talk ArtSea Dance. So for somehow, somebody must have visited for the past 5 years. They had no cable TV for whatever reason. They weren't watching Bahamas at Sunrise. So let us know, what is the purpose of ArtSea Dance?
Yeah, so ArtSea Dance aims to be a bridge that connects young, aspiring young dancers in the Bahamas and the Caribbean to the vast dance world abroad. I am a dancer, Bahamian dancer at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and dance has been my ticket to see the world, to travel, to go to college, to travel over 20 countries and experience culture and language. And it's just been my haven. It's been what's gotten me to where I am. And I'm so dedicated to giving a lot of young dancers those same tools and the resources to make their dreams of being professional artists and dancers come true. And ArtSea aims to give them that space to do so.
Oh, what a beautiful vision, right? To let people know that, you know, your dreams to be a dancer can be realized, and you just need the right tools and people to kind of make that happen. And so that's a beautiful vision. It's been happening for several years now. But you guys were really affected by COVID-19, right, Asa? How did that work out for you?
You know, with COVID-19, obviously the ticket to the world was kind of put on hold because no one was going anywhere in the world. Last year was difficult because we really make an impact when we come down to the Bahamas and we're able to engage with students locally. So last year we shifted our focus to be virtual, like many others did. We were engaging students online through one-on-one classes, through small group classes, and really just taking advantage of what technology was able to offer us. This year, as we return to being in person, which we're exceedingly excited about. We are really thinking about the groups in smaller, more intimate experiences, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then we're also looking at a hybrid setup. We're making sure that we're able to reach those who may not be able to travel to attend our event. We're making sure we have offerings for them as well at home.
All right, so let's talk through those daily sessions then and what they look like. You kind of gave us an idea, Asa, that some of it would be hybrid, but some of it would be in person. So Courtney, kind of walk me through what the schedule, or you or Asa, walk me through what that schedule actually looks like in reality.
Yes, so we're really dedicated and want to make sure that the day is full surrounding dance, not just the classes, but talking and wellness. So we have two groups, having one group for ages 8 through 13, and then a group for ages 14 and over. And we love kind of having that two good range of students. So that way young dancers can be with their age group and feed off of that energy. And so registration for the older students will start at 9:15 early in the morning on Monday, June 21st at the Island House. And we'll get started from around 10 o'clock and wrap up around 2:30. Have one group come on, and within those hours, we will have class with our special guest artist that we will share in a little bit, class with me, and a wellness component. We're really big on making sure dancers have tools to take care of their bodies and really fuel themselves with a wonderful local physical therapy group, Active Body Rehab, which is run by Kadera Bonamy, a wonderful friend of ours and great, just about wellness. And so we'll have that group shift, and then we'll have the younger set come in, and they'll kind of have an entire day similar with class, getting to meet, dancing. We'll have water, just coming in to the Island House Monday, June 21st. And it'll just be a great moment of talking, getting to meet parents, other students from other studios, and just a great day of movement.
Awesome. I know the last time we spoke, registration was kind of already up there. Have we been able to open up any more space? Is registration complete? Talk to me about that process if somebody's just learning about this now, but they are interested.
So if somebody's just learning about this right now, they picked the right morning to tune in. So registration goes live today at 12 p.m. Eastern at ArtSea, ArtSea dance.org. Go there, get ready, be ready to click right at 12. You can also sign up and register for more emails. Just so we've been sending email blasts nonstop to everyone who's registered on our mailing list. Because like you said, people somehow haven't heard about this. And at some point, and everyone says, how do I learn first? How do I get in there? So there still are a handful of slots. It's, again, more limited due to COVID, so people have to be ready to register. But again, we also will have an offering for online classes featuring Courtney and our special guest as well. So if for whatever reason the day doesn't work, we will have a second offering where you can tune in and take class from home.
All right. And so Asa, what's the cost associated with this, so that people just kind of are prepared? They've got their credit card ready if they need to pay on the spot.
Yep. So the cost for class in person is $40. And that covers everything. That you come in, we have the day for you. We will handle pretty much everything from that point on. And then our Zoom class will be $10. So we, again, have two different options for you guys to get some really, really great teaching and some really great dance experience and education.
You see on my face when I heard the price, right? I was like, wait, I can get all of this for just $40 in person or $10 online. Like, you guys almost make me want to pull out my ballet slippers and pretend as if I can do this again. We're not going to go down that path though. But Courtney, I am very excited to learn more about this special guest. We keep teasing them about it and saying that, she's got to be so amazing. They're going to be so impressed. Please let us know who she is and why our dancers should be incredibly excited to learn from her.
Yes, we are bringing down the wonderful, amazing, just super generous and just amazingly talented principal dancer with the American Ballet Theater, Isabella Boylston. She has had a career that has just reached so many heights. She's performed so many principal roles in ballets like Swan Lake and Giselle and Romeo and Juliet. She was the stunt double for Jennifer Lawrence in Red Sparrow. She's traveled all over the world, guested with companies all the way out, all the way in Asia, from South America to the US. And she is just a gem of wisdom and knowledge, and is a dear friend of ours and dear friend of mine. And ever since I've met her, her talent speaks for herself, but her spirit and love of students and teaching is just kind of unreal. And so this is actually her first time ever to the Bahamas, ever to Nassau. So her to come with us feels really, really, really special. And we're excited, but I think she's even more excited. So we'll be talking a lot about ballet and kind of those fundamentals and how it can be applied. And so it'll be great to really have her there, someone who really has just soared in the classical ballet field, to be down there to teach.
Listen, that when you told me who it was, my own mind, that, you know, like the opposite, boom, right? My mind was blown because this woman is absolutely amazing. Like American, you know, her role and what she stars in as the principal, you can't learn from anybody that's greater than this. And so this is really phenomenal. And I want to thank you both, Asa and Courtney, for your dedication and your commitment to our students and just opening their minds to what is possible. To be having Isabella come here is a very big deal. So we thank you for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. We thank you for your commitment to our country over these past few years and in opening up minds and eyes. And now I want to play a video that's going to introduce Isabella Boylston even more to our viewers so that they see and appreciate exactly what they're getting for just $40 or $10. Thanks again for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's Isabella Boylston.
Hi everyone, I'm Isabella Boylston. I'm a principal dancer with American Ballet Theater, and I'm so excited to come to the Bahamas in a couple of weeks and work with my dear, dear friend Courtney for her amazing organization, ArtSea. In addition to being a beautiful artist, Courtney is such a good friend, and what she has created with ArtSea is so inspiring to me. We're both really passionate about kids getting access to dance education. I really believe that dance is for everyone, and when I was a kid and I first stepped foot into a ballet studio, it completely changed my life. I just was so moved by the music, the discipline dance can be. And in addition to that, just like the community of people that I have met from being a dancer. I'm just excited to share my knowledge and my experiences with as many people as possible.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties. Whatever they may be, we equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back to the show. Would you believe it is Wound Health Awareness Week? It's a time to increase awareness about the challenges faced by those with chronic wounds and the great need for clinical wound care, and to recognize the support given by wound specialists. Here to discuss this with us is Dr. James Iferenta, Clinical Director, Emergency Medical Services and Wound Care at Doctors Hospital, and Kezia Baker, Nursing Supervisor of Wound Care at Doctors Hospital Health System. Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Kezia. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Kezia, welcome back, Doc.
Good morning, Bahamas, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we were saying before we started that wound health, obviously it's an important topic. It's got its own week.
Yes, it's a very important topic. The skin is the largest organ in the body by far, and therefore it needs a lot of attention. It needs persons who are specialized and qualified in taking care of it, whether it's an acute war wound, whether it's a Friday night wound, whether it's a surgical wound that's been inflicted on a patient in a scientific way, or whether it's what the island folks call a life saw. That's one that just seems to go on and on and on and on. So yes, it's a new specialty, relatively new, and it's a very important one that has kept myself and my team, led by Nurse Baker, very busy all through the COVID period.
Really, all through the COVID period. So Nurse Baker, as a wound care specialist, what exactly does that mean? And what has this busyness been all about?
Good morning again, Bahamas. Wound care is a specialty. It's an art and a science. It takes someone who is special, who is passionate, who has the know-how to handle wounds, especially chronic wounds. Our clinic was the only outpatient service that was actually open throughout the entire COVID when all other outpatient clinics were closed. That's how important our specialty is. Patients depend on us to change those dressings. Trust me, you wouldn't want to go on with a dressing indefinitely, not being changed, not being cleaned, or the smell. It can get awful.
So what types of wounds do you treat, and are there people living with chronic type wounds that just don't go away?
Yes, we do have chronic wounds, especially with our diabetic patients. Diabetes is actually a progressive degenerative disease, and it causes different systems in the body to malfunction. And usually when they malfunction, if the disease is uncontrolled, it's irreversible.
Okay.
So they tend to have different types of neuropathy, and that neuropathy causes changes in the circulatory system, in the nerve system, and that causes them to develop wounds. They don't feel it most of the time until they smell it, and it's usually quite late at that stage. So those patients do require our services to get them to an optimal state where they can be functional. We do have had the opportunity to heal some of these diabetic wounds, but they're one of the most challenging, as well as venous ulcers.
Dr. Ferrenter, when we talk about wounds and the definition thereof, what would cause somebody to be in a condition to be treated by a doctor? Because again, you say the skin is the largest, and I thank you again for that reminder, the largest organ in the body, and it does tend to get damaged from time to time. What would be the definition of I guess a clinical care wound?
So, our specialty, our subspecialty is a highly scientific one. Most of the wounds, the paper cuts, the finger jam in the door, everybody has them. And if you're well otherwise, we're not going to see you. And even if we see you, it's going to be to tell you everything's going to be okay. So those persons are probably 25, 30% of what we see.
Okay.
What we see are the acute wounds, and like I said, anything from work related. They got their hands or fingers partially chopped off. They've got some sort of caustic or alkali splashed in the face. Yes, there's been a electrical fire at the BPL plant. That's us, There has been some sort of explosion of a radiator at a car plant. There's been a motor vehicle accident with a rollover, and there's road rash. There's been some sort of specialized surgery done in another location, and now the surgery has gone bad, and the person is back home, and we are left with this wound that has gone a little haywire, and we have to pull out our compendium of tools look in our armamentarium, decide what works. These people have to have a proper clinical history. We have to do tests. We have to culture the tissue, send it to the lab. We have to find out what the infection is. We have to give them appropriate treatment, whether it's negative pressure, whether it's hyperbaric oxygen, whether it's topical. So we're very busy trying to heal, to restore. The good thing about the skin is that it's very forgiving. There's a lot of it. So it tends to want to help you if you're doing the right thing. Yeah. And that's where we come in.
No, I tell you what, I'm getting even a better appreciation. My memory is coming back a little bit. You know, it is absolutely a science, like you said, because everybody's different, right? You might think that the skin is the same, but then even wounds may be different, the types of wounds that you have. Nurse Baker, are there factors that that would prevent the proper healing of a wound? I mean, if it's delayed or if it's unattended, you know, what's the general approach?
So yes, there are factors that impede wound healing. And one of the ones that we tend to see a lot is non-compliance. Patients will be given antibiotics. They'll decide, okay, my stomach don't feel too well, or I don't think I should be taking this antibiotic, you know, drinking some bush tea and somebody, you know, done mix some aloes and, you know, so they try to treat something else. They also get the dressings wet. That's a big no-no. When the dressing is wet, it causes the wound to be wet, and wounds don't heal in a very wet environment. And separate and apart from the wetness, it also introduced other bacteria and microbes into the wound, which makes it even more difficult to heal.
Okay, all right. Dr. Iferenta, I'm going to give you this last question. Do patients need a doctor's referral, you know, for wound treatment at the care center?
We'd love to have a doctor's referral. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. We advise persons to call in if they don't have a referral, and we'll see how best we can help them. Okay. Sometimes they are already under the care of a clinical person, a physician, a nurse practitioner. So we're willing to accept persons as long as we understand their clinical situation and we feel that we have a tool that we can help them with. They can call into the hospital and they'll get connected to schedulers, and we'll try to get them accommodated, get them in for consultation and develop a care plan.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. James Iferenta, Clinical Director, Emergency Medical Services and Wound Care at Doctors Hospital Health System, and Nurse Kezia Baker. She's the Nursing Supervisor of Wound Care. Very important work that you do. Thank you so much for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Bahamas and the world has been waging the war against COVID-19 for over a year now. In that time, much of our daily life has been irreversibly changed by lockdowns, job losses, and deaths in our families. As facial masking, hand sanitizing, and social distancing have become the new norm, the team at Doctors Hospital applauds the Bahamian public for doing your part to control and contain the spread of the COVID-19 virus. It is time to take the fight a step further. With the COVID-19 vaccine now available, we encourage Bahamians to continue the fight and do your part in getting vaccinated. Please continue to be vigilant, wear a mask, and social distance. For more information on the COVID-19 vaccine, visit www.doctorshosp.com. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
The COVID-19 pandemic demands the most modern techniques and highest standards of sanitizing to ensure the safety of schools, businesses, churches, and of the ones we love. Treeline Divine Professional Sanitizers offer state-of-the-art electrostatic technology, providing maximum efficiency and coverage to protect your environment and preserve your health against mold and 99% of bacteria and viruses, including COVID-19. With pricing to match your budget and standards to meet your highest expectations, we invite you to contact us for a free analysis of your weekly, monthly, or single-use needs. COVID-19's impact is strong, but our commitment to restoring your safety is even stronger. Treeline Divine Sanitizing. Spread confidence.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much for staying with us. We hope that you've been enjoying the show so far this morning. I know that I have so much information being shared, Phil, whether we're celebrating what Courtney and ASA have been doing, bringing in this principle from the American Ballet Company. People need to understand that is a very big deal. To what you were talking about, Phil, our skin and its ability to heal itself if taken care of properly. But yeah, really interesting morning.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Just to jump to your interview, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch Purpose in action, right? I mean, just, every time she comes on, every time they come on, her and Asa, I'm like, man, this is just wonderful to see, young people doing their thing at such a high level. And you're right, it is a big deal to have that principle there. And then we talk about the skin, we take it for granted because it's, it's always with us, we get a little break in it, it kind of heals itself. But I mean, listen, man, wound care is, it could lead to limb severance. It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. Anybody that's had elderly parents or grandparents and takes care of them, and they can talk to you about bed sores and that really can make a difference between someone living and dying, right? And so you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And what I got from her, in addition to all the vast information, when she talked about the fact that one of the big issues that we have is that people just don't listen to medical advice, right? So you tell them, okay, you got to take your antibiotics. And it's like, you know what? My grandma didn't take that. I just could take me some sage. I got some bush medicine. And while it is a beautiful thing to combine natural healing remedies and long-term medication remedies, I think that we forget how many people died so much younger years ago when we didn't have medical intervention. And so it's just important for us to listen to those with wisdom, listen to those who are equipped with the knowledge of their field, and to follow what the people say.
Absolutely, it's a science. It's a science. But listen, sorry, we've got more interesting things to come here in the second half of Bahamas at Sunrise. We're going to be talking Men's Health Month with Dr. Robin Roberts and Dr. Franklin Williams, and talking about all of the issues related to men's health. Again, one of those things that we kind of take for granted. We're not as serious about certain things, whether it's a slight little pain that you go to bed with and you wake up in the morning, you're like, anyway, put my own plug in there.
He's talking about himself. All right, we still got more to come, as Phil said. We're also going to be talking with Minister Ellsworth Johnson and Nikita Shirul. They're going to be both speaking at the Cat Island Business Outlook, so we're looking forward to that. So before we get to any of it, though, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
My knee just hurting so.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise, a tropical weather outlook. We do have an area of low pressure that is expected to develop over the southwestern Caribbean Sea by Thursday into Friday. Some gradual development is possible of this system as it moves slowly northeastwards towards Central America. The system has a 20% chance of development over the next 5 days. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, high pressure continues to be dominant across the islands, generating some breezy conditions. And in your marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. On Tuesday, those winds become easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. And then by Wednesday, on the northwest Bahamas, they drop off a bit, easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet on northwest Bahamas, continuing 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet on the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. Currently have a high tide at average 6:33 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 40 minutes past midday. High gain this evening at 7:03. Sunset 7:56 this evening. Rising tomorrow morning at 6:19. UV index 9. Your water temperature 75 degrees Fahrenheit. and your moon phase, now moving towards the new moon. External look, high pressure contains on weather feature, so partly sunny skies, still breezy, still very warm, chance of an after shower thunderstorm, temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the low to mid 70s. That puts wrap me up on look at weather sunrise. I'm got to go inside. Back to you, Star.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. So I told you all at the beginning of the show how excited we are to be having the first Cat Island Business Outlook. It's going to be held this Friday, June 11th. And of course, given the times, it's going to be held via Zoom. We've got two of the conference speakers here today to talk to us this morning about their joy in hosting the first ever Cat Island Business Outlook. And so I'm very happy to welcome the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson. He, of course, is our Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry, and Immigration. Very big portfolio there for Mr. Johnson. And we've also got Nikita Sheo-Roll. She's the owner of Cat Island Mermaid and Ocean Farm. Of course, we've spoken with Nikita several times before, and we're happy to have her back in this capacity. Nikita, Minister, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Hi, Nikita.
Hello.
A pleasure to have you both with us. Nikita, I actually want to get started with you because you left the big city of Nassau, moved to Cat Island, and you've been there for several years now. You made Cat Island your home, and of course, it is a beautiful one, but you guys have been under some restrictions lately. You're still in lockdowns there. Kind of talk to me about what's going on in Cat Island right now.
Yes, thank you so much. So I have been permanently living in Cat Island. July is going to make 4 years. And so that was a big adjustment from the big little city, as I call New Providence. And so unfortunately we have had, we had in the beginning of the pandemic, we had a really good stretch where we didn't really have many COVID cases, but just recently now we've gone down on full lockdown. We're going into our 3rd week. And so of course this adds another complexity to life here because for most Cat Islanders, it's very much a subsistence style of life right now, day to day. Many people depend on the marine resources or farming. And so lockdown takes a different flair because not many people can work online. For me, it was COVID actually opened the world to me. And it really was a blessing in a way because this past year, I've been able to work from the heart of Arthurstown, Cat Island, and be able to, speak with colleagues in Singapore or the United States, England, all over. And but now we really are, I think, at a critical juncture for our little community because it's how do we ensure that we take stock of where we are and an honest evaluation of the challenges, which includes a lot of infrastructure, which includes, our limited health capacity. It's terrifying for me. And I know many people in our community every day when you hear flights leaving now, especially in the north, when we didn't used to have flights, you're always like, is this an emergency medevac, which it probably is, and then who in our community is being impacted. And when you have such a small community, you just feel it in a completely different way.
Yeah, no, and I, as you speak to that, it reminds me of the topic that Minister Johnson, you're going to be sharing on. And the theme for this conference is facing unprecedented times, recover, adapt, and advance. And as we look at Cat Island, what Nikita talked about, we recognize every part of this theme is so important to what she said. And so for you, Minister, what will you be speaking on specifically?
Good morning, Anastasia. Thank you very much for having me, and good morning, Ms. Rowe. During the conference, I grew up on Cat Island. I'll be focusing on inviting Cat Islanders to be a part of the socio-economic and cultural development of a giant. The other day I went to Cat Island, I saw Cat Island, and I spoke to Ms. Albury, the CEO of the company, and I saw Cat Island as a economic free trade power zone. I'm happy that the government of Cat Island has now identified the Southern Islands as islands to be developed. But I've grown up on Cat Island, very much has changed, and there are certain things that Cat Islanders have to be a part of in terms of how that island developed, recognizing and appreciating its culture, its diversity, its music, its art, the mystique of Cat Island, also demanding from the government. I'm of the firm view that past administrations, including the FNM administration, have let Cat Island down. At the turn of the century, Cat Island was really a part of the economic life of the Bahamas. And so in terms of infrastructure, proper schools, a proper state-of-the-art medical facility, roads, docks, and whatever have you, we need it. Cat Island is seen as a gem where people go, they live, but I think Cat Island has the opportunity to really punch above its weight. When you look at places like Exuma, Eleuthera, Abaco, where she was, and she's building big and better, Cat Island should be right there or rivaling those islands. And so as a person who grew there, went to the field, towed the water, and did all these different things, I think it's incumbent upon Cat Islanders now to be a part of this discussion on how we will develop in an environmentally friendly way, in an agricultural way, developing the tourism, investing in SMEs. So I'm going to touch a bit on everything. I've been sending it around for all Cat Islanders around the world to be a part of this discussion, to get Cat Island up and going, as the topic says, facing unprecedented times. We have to do it. We have to adapt. We have to take advantage of the technical advancements that are being experienced. Taking our children back, that is one of the greatest difficulties I find as us as a people, for them to understand from whence we came, from subsistence farming and fishing villages. Now we see people who are away in school, who are doctors. You have a professional like Dr. Roll. We're gonna have Miss Dr. Nyambi Campbell, whose family is from Cat Island. And so a number of Cat Islanders will be participating, and I'm very excited about this. First ever Cat Island Business Outlook, for us to be a part of the economic environment and really take Cat Island to the world and invite everybody to come to experience what Cat Island is. Thank you.
Yeah, Minister, you can tell the love that you have for your home country when you speak, right? Your home island, that is, sorry. And so it is a joy to hear you talk about it. And some of the things that you mentioned, I hear Nikita talk about all the time, right? She's a Cat Island implant, but she speaks about the need to raise the level of economic activity, but using the natural resources that this island has. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm jealous because I've not been to Cat Island. I had plans to go for my birthday last year, Nikita, and that was when, unfortunately, our Prime Minister had to shut us down. And so it blocked my Cat Island hustle and flow, but it is the island I desire to see the most, right? And so it must be because of the way that you guys speak about it. Nikita, before we go, just kind of talk to us about the ocean and why you believe that the future of Cat Island lives in the ocean.
This is so exciting. And I want to sort of just be very clear. The future of our great country lives within the ocean. 95% of our country is ocean. And as Bahamians, we have yet to even literally put our faces in the ocean. You know, so there's so much for us to discover. And I think this is what's so powerful is that the ocean, there are opportunities that allow us to diversify our economy so that we're not dependent on tourism. And really through diversifying our economy through research, through ecosystem restoration, through new and innovative approaches to fishing, fisheries models, I think we can ensure that we improve the quality of life for all Cat Islanders, by extension Bahamians, and also enhance the quality of our tourism product. I think now as we move into this next decade and beyond, we get to be very, very intentional, and we get to set the bar because we have the most incredible country in the world. And I say this as someone who has traveled and lived all around the world. And we, because of our colonial history, there's a lot of challenges that we have. And so I think now as we move into this outlook, as we move and we look forward towards the future, we have to be very clear. Where are our challenges? Lovingly hold those challenges and ensure that we literally build the capacity. We know most Bahamians have not graduated from high school successfully. And this is something that we have to just go head on, face, acknowledge, and say, okay, this is where we're starting from. What do we need to do to get you to the point so you and I can be diving and exploring the oceans together and, you know, letting that birth these new innovative social enterprises that our country needs, but that really is just going to ensure that we live a flourishing life as Bahamians. There should be no question about what educational opportunities, right? Everything for us is and. Yes, the best education. Yes, the best quality of healthcare, you know, and the ocean has the ability to gift us that.
All right. And listen, I'm excited about the business outlook. All right. And you know, we've been doing business outlook with the counselors for many years. Bringing Cat Island into the family now, it really excites me because I agree with you and I feel your passion and I believe you, right? That the future lies in what we can do with our Southern Islands. The future lies in our oceans. And so we thank you, Minister Ellsworth Johnson, for taking the time to join us this morning, for kind of being one of the major champions behind this new outlook. And so we look forward to hearing from you. Nikita, thank you for continuing to educate us, not just the Bahamas, but the world at large on the oceans and the possibilities that lie there. And so we're just grateful for both of you this morning. All the love, Nikita. We'll be back with more Bahamas at Sunrise right after this. Thanks again.
The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. As you've already heard, June is Men's Health Month. It's a time to increase the awareness of preventable health problems and encourage early detection and treatment of diseases affecting men. Here to discuss this with us are the legendary Dr. Robin Roberts, urologist, chairman of the NHI Authority, and Dr. Francis Williams. He's the Chief of Services, Department of Family Medicine, and former consultant in charge of male health clinics, Men's Health Clinic, Ministry of Health. That's a long title. I hope I got it all right. Good morning, doctors. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, our pleasure. Absolutely, our pleasure. Dr. Roberts, you say you know, ain't got much to say this morning because Dr. Williams could lay it all out for us, right? But generally speaking, Dr. Roberts, would you say that we as Bahamian men in particular are healthy, are unhealthy? I mean, you got a whole month dedicated just to this topic.
It's unfortunate. I wish we had the whole year because really the facts are very clear. We are very unhealthy as a group of citizens in this country. You know, when we look back at the data over the past 10, 15, 20 years, it hasn't changed much. When we compare ourselves to our females, we have higher levels of high blood pressure, of cancers, of alcohols. We're more likely to be in prison. We're more likely to be homeless. We're more likely to take illegal drugs. We're more likely to work on dangerous jobs and get in accidents. You know, so when you look at it from the general perspective, and you talk about chronic diseases versus non-chronic diseases, I want to highlight that, yes, we are plagued with the non-chronic, non-communicable diseases. And men, we had the list. We are more likely to die from it. Wow. And when you look at it, when you tease them out, you can't just look at it just like that. You have to tease it out. And when you tease it out now, and you look at those conditions, such as accidents and violence, we realize that when we start looking at our younger men, we see how many of them are dying from homicides. And we look, and when you look a little bit to that age group, we are shocked to see how many of our men are committing suicides. You know, so we have to really look at this, and then we tend to do the spotlight on cancers, and particularly prostate cancer. That seems to be quite a big issue. But at the end of the day, when we look at why men are dying, it is only 3% of them over the age of 45 die from prostate cancer. Over the age of 45, it's like 10 times that amount die from heart disease, the high blood pressure, the diabetes. Those are the things where it comes right back to those non-communicable diseases. Right. So we are already suffering, you know, and that hasn't changed much.
Well, Doc, you always put it like it is. It feels as though the room just got heavy for me in my own house. You know, but Dr. Williams, that's a lot. That's a lot, and it's not just to you know, regular health. I mean, it's comprehensive health. I mean, it's mind, body, and soul. You know, but what I mean, he started to list, Dr. Roberts started to list some of the common ailments. But Dr. Williams, what would you say is that expanded list, and where should we start? I mean, where should the screening start? It's a whole month dedicated to men's health. You know, you talk about the cancer, you talk about the prostate. You know, what's the approach that we as men should be taking relative to our own healthcare?
Well, certainly, as Dr. Roberts said, if we list the most common causes of death of men, we find that assault and homicide is at the top. That is unfortunate. And so we have to pay particular attention in terms of how men deal with violence. When we get outside of the violence and the assaults, then we can deal with the other common causes of death, which include ischemic heart disease, hypertensive disease, cerebrovascular disease, HIV, diabetes, and prostate cancer. And so what we do, we try to encourage men to take personal hold of their health care. And I believe that the Ministry of Health, along with NHI, has made great inroads in trying to encourage better health care, more affordable, comprehensive health care for all. And so that is what we do. We encourage men to take care. We encourage them to use therapeutic lifestyle changes, that is exercise and dieting. And then we encourage them to get regular screening to decrease these avoidable causes of death as it relates to chronic diseases.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's much easier said than done. I mean, I don't know if it's cultural, I don't know if it's lifestyle, but it's not an easy thing to get a man in general to pay attention to his health. But so what do we say then, Dr. Roberts, to those men who avoid the doctors? How do we encourage them to get the necessary checkups? And a lot of the things that you mentioned thus far have so much more to do with the psychology of the man, and maybe it's also mental health.
You're quite right. It's a combination of quite a number of those things. And so we tend to look at the top of the list and we talk about our culture, what we perceive a man to be. We look at a man as being one where we don't complain about pain. It's the man's thing to do, not to go to see the doctor and have regular visits, because real men don't get sick. Yes, so the culture, and that's a very important part. One of the things that really get to me though is that when there's something structural, and we talk about structural racism, there's something structural inside the healthcare system that does not put men at the forefront where they should be, because our health is in a worse condition. One of the things I feel very strong about is that a healthcare system is not designed for men. When you look at about healthcare, you talk about healthy baby and healthy mother and wellness clinic. And the focus is primarily on women and children, not on males. So I'm so pleased to see, Dr. Williams here, who is pioneering putting on the male clinic, because men don't want to go sit in a clinic where, they look like wimps to say, I'm in here because my blood pressure is not, or I might have a sexual problem or something like that. They feel out of place. The clinics are not designed for the time and men out working during the day. When they are free, they then in the evening, that's when the clinic should be open for men. The senior men go out in the daytime, but what about the younger men? When do they access clinic and so forth? So, and now when we look at this whole issue, we're talking about gender, the focus is on the female. Yeah. It's not on the male.
Well,
it's a multifactorial thing.
Yeah, no doubt. So Dr. Francis, I mean, obviously this is what the men's health clinic is all about, correct?
Correct. And so the male health clinic, under the guidance of Dr. Roberts, started in 2007. And so the government has put on male health clinics prior to the pandemic in all of the polyclinics: Flamingo Gardens, Elizabeth Estates, Fleming Street, and of course, South Beach. And so there were regular clinics to encourage men to come out. And we know that, after the age or continuing with women have always gotten their pap smears. And so there have been, as Dr. Roberts suggests, that there's been the case where men have not been encouraged to come in. And so we have tried to change that paradigm.
All right. Dr. Roberts, in two sentences, what do you say to the men that are watching this show, the men of our country?
The only thing I would say to them is this. I have 3 grandchildren, actually 4, and my oldest is 10. I would love to see him graduate from high school. I would like to see all of them go to university. I would like to be around to do that. And one of the worst things is when I meet a young man who comes to see me in his 50s, then he has a problem which if he had paid attention to when he was in his 40s, he would have been around to see that. That's what, at the time when you're just about to enjoy life, you finish your mortgage, you want to go do some traveling, boom, you had a sickness that was totally avoidable, or you could have reduced the complications that could arise. And so we have to look at how we enjoy life, not only for the day, but how could we enjoy it even better for tomorrow? And so I think we have to look at ourselves in that perspective, that we don't just live for us,
Correct.
We live for everyone else as well. And we in the middle of enjoying it.
Yeah. Well said, doctors. Dr. Robin Roberts, urologist, chairman of the NHI Authority, and Dr. Francis Williams, chief of services, Department of Family Medicine, and a former consultant, of course, male health clinics. Gentlemen, thank you so much. A word to the wise is sufficient. watching Bahamas at sunrise. We'll be right back.
That's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
Absolutely. Listen, great show as always. And, like I say, a word to the wise is sufficient, Star. And this is what we do, right?
Indeed, indeed. I hope our men are listening. We need you. We need you desperately. And I don't know if we tell you that enough, but please take care of yourself. And somebody used to say, take care of yourself and each other. We'll be back with more Bahamas at Sunrise on Friday. Make it a great week.